We have here some big news about the Riot MMO history that they are gonna launch. And to be fair for me, I've been looking for a game since World of Warcraft to actually go and put my hands on. And if I have a company that I have my trust on, it is gonna be on Riot Games. They've been doing amazing games. Most of their games are very popular. So I have the true copium that it is gonna be a banger. Let's go and watch these news with Nikrit.
Ooh, things are getting serious. I really hope someone got this reference. So, big news for Riot's MMO. I mean, huge news for Riot's MMO. News
Alright.
so big that when we are looking at the percentage scale of Riot cancelling the MMO, we are approaching 0%. And that's because Riot just made one of the biggest acquisitions of manpower that they could have made. And
Alright.
it all happened because of a pile of luck and the stars aligning. So, despite people not thinking there is a lot to talk about when it comes to the Riot MMO, the truth is that if you are dedicated enough and you crunch through the job listings and what is happening in the industry,
They are
you
recruiting,
can
boys.
pry open a lot of information every week. I mean, that's how we keep talking about the game despite Riot's silence. And one of the primary ways of learning about the game is
Please be good,
using
please
the
be good.
official Riot job listings and checking out who's getting on the team. And if you remember me saying that the team was getting stacked last time, it is now that we are getting to the good part. Things got serious quick, and they got serious for multiple reasons. First of all,
Alright.
the Riot MMO is still fighting a seemingly impossible battle, because all of their competition is crumbling and Riot is trying to make something in an environment where nobody made it. It doesn't matter if somebody is new or if it is a team of veteran MMO designers. And it doesn't matter if we are talking about someone new or a team of MMO veterans. The Dune MMO is barely hanging on. Ashes of Creation went up
It
in
just
flames.
flopped.
The Ghost MMO got cancelled.
Bro, it was so unlucky. I had like actually a lot of like good hopes here for Ash of Creation. So if you guys not been following like the MMO scene, Ash of Creations, it had the biggest potential to become literally the biggest MMO out there. And it just ended up being like one or another big scam that literally a lot of people were backing. A lot of people bought like all of these very expensive alpha and beta access to the game. And the game was so close, supposedly, to be finished. And then, well, they just stole it. They pulled the plug and they said, you know what? No more investment. The game is dead. And everybody that supported during all this time, well, they shut down.
And now, the game that was technically classified as an MMO2, which is Destiny 2, is shutting down as
yeah,
well.
also got shut down.
So the only MMOs that still hold on are the classic MMOs that have an audience that already love the nostalgic feeling as well as the classic designs. With World of Warcraft, after the many years, still somehow
the king.
leading the charge, although their numbers are also slowly getting iffy, with Classic actually locking people in. Somehow, and their direct competition
'Cause it's a
could
better
be
game.
considered old school RuneScape. Somehow I still haven't played that one. And since Classic WoW just
Like the problem with old school RuneScape is just like it is. I already tried to play it many times, but the level of dedication, and for me, it is the level of effort to get past of how bad the game looks. That's my issue. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm saying that visually, I have a tough time to look at the game and I appreciate it. And I know that many can say that this is a unique like art style, the same as like Minecraft. But yeah, but I also don't like Minecraft. I don't like the pixelated. But I can see the charm and I see why a lot of people love it. But I think people don't play for the graphics. They play definitely for the content that he has.
And since Classic WoW just teased that Classic Plus might be coming, which is one of the most anticipated events in the entire MMO genre really, Riot might actually get their own rival straight from the beginning. Which is why Riot is in this interesting place design-wise. Looking at the current MMO audience, it would make sense to make a more classic-styled MMO, but
Yeah.
looking at the potential of modern MMOs, they want to try something new to catch a new lightning in a bottle. I mean, that is exactly why the first MMO reset happened. They wanted to make something new, making the entire journey quite a challenge. And so, how do you make this challenge easier for you? You surround yourself with people that definitely know what they are doing. And that is the big thing that happened yesterday.
Okay.
You see, one of the reasons why some people may have confidence in the Riot MMO is because of the people behind it.
Yeah.
It is full of veterans who previously worked on some of the best games in the world. I mean, right now it is led by the former producer of Mass Effect 3, specifically someone who is responsible for the creation of the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, which, let me tell you, Mass Effect, still my favorite.
I think one day I'll have to go on the rampage of like just become like a variety streamer for like 6 months. Just literally Indez like I just go on this streak of like I want to play all these classic games. There are so many games that I heard about: Massive Effect, Fallout, like Resident Evil. What else, boys? There are so many, like God of War, Elden Ring, the Dark Souls. Like there's like so many single player experience, like Red Dead Redemption 2, like so many that I haven't actually experienced. But legit, that can literally make it or break it my channel. Probably there's 90% chance that it will break it, but there's the 10% chance that can actually work and will be really exciting.
Favorite universe in gaming, and I spent literally thousands of hours in the multiplayer specifically. It had a really cool design with an incredibly rewarding and satisfying progression system, which is exactly what you wanna see in an MMO. And that alone made me excited. But then you also sprinkle in some veterans from other MMOs, including a bunch of veteran WoW developers. We are once again talking about previous senior engineers on World of Warcraft, where some of them made some of the best experimental game modes for World of Warcraft, with one of the biggest acquisitions up to that point being the former lead producer of World of Warcraft. When that broke the news, people got really excited, because we are talking about Reynold Bartos, also known as Good Guy Ray, a name that made people freeze in place. Because now, while all the other MMOs are crumbling, somehow Riot is making bigger and bolder moves while getting even higher.
The thing is, like, Riot has the financial backing from like Valorant, League of Legends, all those games. They infinitely support like any level of like financial backing that they need.
Higher talent on the team. What's
So
even
they don't
cooler
need to
is that
always have
over
like
time,
investors.
Riot has been secretly acquiring former World of Warcraft developers, and now the old teams are reassembling at Riot Games. Meaning that Riot now has a bunch of people that already know how to work together, which not only speeds up the production of the game in general, but it also removes some of the obstacles you are dealing with when making a new team. But the biggest thing that really happened in this space happened only yesterday, because we got a new legendary designer.
Sorry, but for some reason, while he was saying that this is the new team of Riot, all I could think it was that this is a bunch of veterans, all developers like this, almost retired, working on what will be the next worldwide MMO genre. While he was saying that, I could only think about this.
That joined the Riot MMO team. Yes, Riot managed to get Brian Holinka. And there is a lot to talk about. So, Brian Holinka has been a legendary designer working on World of Warcraft. Now, the good news is that I've been playing World of Warcraft from the year 2006 all the way up to yesterday. So I do have quite the context for what is going on here. You see, Holinka joined World of Warcraft around the year 2012, which means this would be happening after the peak of World of Warcraft's player base, but before the other peak. Now, up to the year he joined WoW, he's...
Yeah, it didn't look that well. You know, like this graph right here, it is the reason why they actually stopped sharing the player base. Because this was looking really, really bad for World of Warcraft. Then they had the WoD, and after the WoD came, they had this massive drop, and they were like, okay, shareholders, we're not gonna share our numbers ever again. That's one of the reasons why even in Diablo Immortal or Diablo games, it's really hard for us to have actually numbers and access to what it is the actual player base. So You have to look at the other sources to understand like the how big it is.
Joined WoW, he's been an on and off player of WoW since the beginning. More on that later. And after his arrival on the team between Cataclysm and Mists of Pandaria, he became known for handling the gameplay side of WoW's classes. Here, truth be told, we are talking about times where the old school RPG design already became outdated, with the modern audiences getting a lot closer to the action-styled gameplay. I mean, we are talking about the years where League of Legends took off. And so, all the classes in WoW were slowly getting better and better, they were getting a lot more engaging and a lot more entertaining to play, and the cool thing is that Holinka worked on the classes all the way up through Legion. And if any one of you played Legion, you can confirm that the class fantasy absolutely peaked during that expansion, and Blizzard never managed to bring any of this back. And it is interesting to see that right after Legion was done, Holinka was moved onto another thing at Blizzard. So already, we know that he designed some of fan-favorite designs.
Okay.
On top of this, we can also add the fact that he helped design Evokers, which, sure, you can think whatever you want about
the
the
Scalies,
Drakthir.
man.
I don't like them either. Why can't they wear armor? I still don't know. But it was a bold move to create an entirely new class, which has a lot lower DPS, but its damage is based on augmenting the abilities of other classes and increasing their damage.
Yeah, the concept is cool.
That kind of support DPS has never really existed. Not even with the old paladins and shamans. But here they were.
And the thing is like, I mean, I don't know now because I'm not following as close, but I still watch like the World First races to the mythical raids. And Evokers still managed to always be there. Just the augmented skills that are very powerful.
Trying something new that actually felt really cool. So
Crimson
again,
Desert is the best
the
best game you ever
designs,
played.
But the reason
Is
why
that good?
you should be excited about all of this is because he is also a massive fan of PvP. And so while he was designing classes for WoW in general, PvP has always been his focus. Historically, while playing WoW as a fan, apparently he had 8 max level characters which he was using for arenas. And during his time as a developer, he became responsible for some of the biggest PvP features, including rated battlegrounds, which quickly became a hit for the PvP community. And during Shadowlands, bear with me, he helped push out Solo Shuffle, which revived the entirety of Arena with a totally
Solo Shuffle, I think it is the solo ranked, right?
These are the achievements that we should be focusing on. Because now there is a whole new question. Will Riot utilize Holinka's experience with the design of PvP specifically? Or will he once again help with the overall design of combat? Because after 2018, he was the lead combat designer of World of Warcraft. And well,
anyone can criticize World of Warcraft on many things, but the combat, it's still probably the best one. I really enjoy the combat in any Blizzard game. Diablo 4 for me, in terms of like comparing to Path of Exile, I really like the combat in Diablo 4. I think it is amazing. I think like the Path of Exile 2, it is an improvement because it is slightly slower, a bit more technical. It feels like whatever is the decision that you make, it is more thoughtful. You're not like zooming through the maps, but I still prefer the combat style on Diablo 4.
This is where we
I just don't like the numbers in Diablo 4, man.
Because before Holinka left Blizzard, for a brief moment he actually joined the Ghost MMO, where he didn't have too much time to design much because the publisher pulled the plug. And that is also how the stars aligned. Because if he didn't move onto the Ghost MMO and the Ghost MMO wasn't cancelled, then Riot wouldn't even get a chance to get Holinka onto their team. It is funny how the world works sometimes. But what is even more interesting is that thanks to all the job listings, because we know that Holinka became the principal gameplay designer, with that job listing previously being open, we should know what he's doing on the MMO. So first, contribute to a unified combat vision that resonates across both small and large player counts. In other words, design combat and classes that work in both dungeons and raids. Here, I think Riot hit the jackpot. Deliver on our combat aspirations in the solutions, content and decisions in the detail of design and implementation.
I can't even imagine what it's like to create a game.
Inspire and support all members of the team to continue striving for their best possible work in healthy and sustainable way. We can hope that comes with experience. Mentor and grow designers on the team in both craft and collaboration skills. Checks out. Champion an effective playtesting process that can validate our goals and fuel continuous improvements over time. Checks out. Be the primary owner of a significant portion of player combat, traversal or enemies at an IC. Build direction for core player actions like camera, controls and character. That is what he did on Ghost 2. Design and iterate on low-level details of input and player actions that contribute to a great feel, rich decision-making and balanced ecosystem. Create and provide multiple potential
Let's
designs.
focus on the balanced word, please. Because like I feel like in the past years, most of the games that I'm playing, it feels like companies are having a very rough time to just balance games. Especially the pay to win doesn't help because it just creates a very unbalanced system already on an unbalanced game by itself. But whenever you're talking about like games that are not actually pay to win, they still have problems. Like for example, League of Legends, instead of like focusing on trying to balance the whole game because they have so many champions, they just focus on balancing the meta and then just keep rotating the meta with like different champions. And I think that's like the way that now the developers they go about
solutions, articulating trade-offs and risks between different options, all of which pretty much checks out. So in summary, it seems like Riot kinda lucked out and the stars align and they managed to get the best possible talent for the problems they were trying to solve. And since we are talking about a person with a name that is very well known in the MMO environment, it did actually breathe a lot of new hope for the Riot MMO. Not that they really needed hope.
I'm definitely playing this one.
We don't need much, and from what we do know, it looks cool. And so as far as we know, the plan is still for Riot to release the MMO before 2030. And so right now, it really...
So 2030, man. Oh my god, bro. I'm gonna be... How old am I gonna be? I'm gonna be fucking 40, man. Oh, dude. My wrist is gonna pain. My fingers. Dexterity is not gonna work. How am I gonna be rank 1 at 40 years old, boys? Jesus.
Feels like there is no way they are gonna cancel the MMO, right?
Oh man, what a video, boys! What a video from Encrit. I mean, for me, I really hope as a WoW veteran, someone that played from Classic until like Wrath of Lich King. Then I came back on during I think it was BFA. I also played a bit on WoD, but overall, I never like really came back like full time after the Wrath of Lich King. So I've been kind of waiting for the new MMO. So if you are on the same position as me, well, drop that like and also tell me in the comments if you have any suggestion of any kind of other MMO that maybe can be interesting for me to try. For example, the chat was saying that Crimson Desert may be like a good option. And yeah, I'm gonna link and create like name in the video down below. Go check him out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.